Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
Celebrated for its deep, fascinating history, striking mountains, stately castles, and misty lochs, Scotland is arguably the most ruggedly beautiful country in Europe. So here are 10 beautiful places to visit in Scotland. Number 1. Loch Lomond. Located in southern Scotland, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park offer visitors a combination of stunning scenery and picturesque villages. One of Scotland's best obsessions. It's the largest inland stretch of water in Britain, and one of Scotland's most idyllic and unspoilt areas. So take an unforgettable boat trip across the lake and enjoy the stunning views of the area called the Mini Highlands. There are several small islands within the loch which can be explored thanks to dedicated cruises as well as the Loch Lomond water bus ferry service. But I think you can hire a boat and explore it yourself. So if you're visiting Glasgow or Edinburgh and looking for scenic landscapes or outdoor adventures, then you might consider a day trip to Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park. Number 2. The Isle.
Scotland is a land of many different landscapes, with a great variety of nature, architecture, and tradition to be seen. One of the best ways to view this is by travelling by train. Glenfinnan dialect attracts many thousands of visitors from around the world to experience the stunning scenery, but also the special atmosphere. Now the famous Glenfinnan viaduct carries the railway to Glenfinnan station, across a 1,000 foot span and 100 feet above the ground. The steam train, as you see, runs from here to Fort William and Malag in summer months, with regular trains available for the rest of the year. And as you've guessed it, 2 Harry Potter books took place right here.
The Orkneys are an island archipelago, located off the northeastern shores of Scotland, consisting of over 70 islands. It's a fabulous destination during the summer months. Now, Orkney's most famous landmark is arguably the Old Man of Hoy, which is an imposing 400-foot sea stack on the island of Hoy, carved from layer upon layer of old red sandstone. But if you want to step back in time, on the largest island you will find Skara Brae. And the site presents a remarkable picture of life in Orkney around 5,000 years ago. So Skara Brae is part of the heart of the Neolithic Orkney UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and it's something you definitely don't want to miss. As one of the most iconic images of Scotland, Éireann Donan is recognised all around the world. Situated on an island at the point where three great sea lochs meet, and surrounded by some majestic scenery, it's little wonder why the castle is now one of the most visited and important attractions in the Scottish Highlands. Although first inhabited around the 6th century, the first fortified castle was built in the mid-13th century and stood guard over the lands of Kintel. So when you first set eyes on it, it's easy to understand why so many people around the world visit these doors year after year. An icon of Scotland, which is even found on shortbread tins and calendars. And let me tell you, if you haven't tried Scottish shortbread, then you are definitely missing out. The Isle of Skye is known for its rugged landscapes, medieval castles, and picturesque fishing villages, its history and the outstanding scenery. Skye is one of those must-see places if you're planning a trip to Scotland. The scenery is outstanding, with its dramatic coastline and picturesque geological features. Now, there are many small interesting villages scattered about the island, but Portree would be the place to start. Neast Point is one of the most famous lighthouses in Scotland and can be found on the most westerly tip of Skye, near the township of Glendale. While the walk down is an easy one, the concrete path does get quite steep. Glencoe. Scotland's most scenic and most famous glen. Not a valley, like I said last time, it's a glen. And it's also one of the country's most dramatic. The deep valley and towering mountains of Glencoe are the most iconic scenery in the Highlands, and something which you could hardly miss if you tried. Carved out centuries ago by icy glaciers and volcanic explosions, driving through these giants is like an otherworldly experience. So given the changeable weather, multiple trips provide a kind of distinctive experience each and every time. But given the changeable weather, multiple trips will provide you with a distinct experience each and every time. So if you really love the outdoors and mountaineering, this is the perfect area in Scotland for you to give it a go. This is the perfect area for you in Scotland. Stonehaven is located south of the city, along the Aberdeenshire coast. An ideal spot for families, couples or friends, the town has one of the region's most notable visitor attractions, Donaton Castle. When it comes to castles, Aberdeenshire is the place to visit. With over 300, there is simply no other county in the UK with more per square mile than this corner of Scotland. An iconic ruin, perched on a headland with a dramatic sheer cliff on all sides. It's an ancient castle. In 900 AD, a Viking raid killed the king, a raid in which the castle was destroyed. After it was rebuilt, the castle was fought over and over again for hundreds of years. While Scotland has more picture-perfect stretches of sand than you can count, Luskintyre Beach on the west coast of South Harris in the Outer Hebrides has frequently been named one of the best beaches in the world. One of the most jaw-dropping places on the planet. Its striking white sands sit at the edge of the turquoise water, as if it belonged in the Caribbean. This is the place to go if you're seeking solitude, relaxation, and nature.
Now, the islands that perch on the edge of the British Isles between Scotland and Scandinavia are the Shetlands. Shetland is a subarctic archipelago that includes 16 inhabited islands. Closer to Bergen, in Norway, than Inverness, with just a handful of smart places to stay, and as you can see, tons of wildlife to spot. A truly magnificent place, especially for those who love the outdoors.
An outstanding landmark and one of Stirling's most striking visits. Commemorating the life of Sir William Wallace, the Patriot, and martyr who came to be saluted as Scotland's national hero. Inside the monument you will find yourself transported back to the 13th century, as you discover the story of the warrior who led the Scottish army to victory at the Battle of the Stirling Bridge. Point to note here, there is a shuttle bus that can take you up the hill, if you don't fancy the walk. There are over 200 steps, broken up by exhibition floors, and once you get to the top, the views are stunning.
Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the channel, and as always, be good, be kind, and be careful. Peace.
Best places to visit in Philippines. The Philippines is a destination that is easy to visit multiple times due to its 7,000 islands. The most difficult decision you make as a traveler is figuring out which island to visit first. The Philippines is divided into the three main island groups of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, representing different regions in the country. The scenery in each region of Philippines ranges from mountainous and tropical to metropolitan. The steep, lush mountains provides unforgettable hiking experience, and since you are surrounded by Pacific Oceans, the scuba diving opportunities and beaches are some of the best in the world. Boracay. There is a reason that Boracay Islands is considered the beach capital of Philippines, because there are more than 12 beaches. This tiny island in the West Visayas region is ideal for beachgoers or after simple relaxation in the sun or water activities. White Beaches on the west side of the island is one of the most popular beaches with a lively reputation. Puka Shell Beach is on the tip of the island and is a favorite spot for shell collectors. Dinniwit Beach is a tiny beach at the north end of White Beach. that has best view of the island. This island is known for its many resorts, so finding a place to stay is easy. For a panoramic view of the island, take a day trip to Mount Luho, its highest point. Bohol. The island of Bohol in the Philippines Central Visayas region runs at slower pace, and it's a destination that showcases the country's natural beauty. One of the most unique natural wonders on the island is Chocolate Hills in Carmen. This UNESCO protected site is collection of 1200 geological formation that turns brown in the dry season, resembling a landscape of chocolate candy kisses. Bohol is home to family-owned sanctuary for the tiny tarsier primate, known for its large engaging eyes. For a small fee, you can take a intimate walk through the grounds and stand inches away from the small nocturnal mammal. The showcase of Bohol is the beach. Cebu. The island of Cebu in the Central Visayas region is considered the port to one of the best diving and snorkeling in Philippines. If you are an underwater enthusiast, Cebu is one of your best options for excursion that gets you up close to whale sharks, coral reef, and sea turtle. Some of the most spectacular sceneries from the water near Cebu are the sea caves that attracts photographers and outdoor enthusiasts. The Sundown National Park, located approximately an hour from Cebu City, is a breathtaking park to explore the hike. While Cebu's greatest draw is its water, Cebu City is a metropolitan area with tourist attractions like museums and cathedrals that will interest history buffs. Banawi. The rice terraces of Banawi are one of the most striking things to see in Philippines. The emerald green terraces are agricultural wonder in the area. Your most impressive view of terraces is at sunrise, when clouds and fog lifts off mountain to reveal the intricate landscape of terraces. The Batat rice terraces and the Bangan rice terraces are protected UNESCO World Heritage Sites. For a deeper taste of this region, take a stroll through the Benawi ethnic village or the Haiwang village to mingle with indigenous people who form the rice terraces. City of Vigan. The historical city of Vigan in the northern Philippines is one of the most charming towns to visit in Luzon region. Its culture is fusion of Chinese and Spanish influence, originating from settlers to the area. Take a ride in horse-drawn calesa through the streets and admire the colonial architecture, courtesy of the Spanish who colonized the area in the 18th century. Vigan is a city with many nuances to explore. The best view of the area is from the Bante Bell Tower, which is also a noted landmark in the area. The Calais Crisologo Historic District is a walkable district where you will encounter many local craftsmen and see historical architecture. A visit to the St. Paul Metropolitan Cathedral is breathtaking and a perfect spot to sit and people watch as you take in the local culture. Manila. The Philippines capital of Manila on the island of Luzon is a bustling city with non-stop activity. Hop on the board one of the colorful jeepneys, the main form of public transportation, to get a taste of local life. Usually overpacked with locals, the bumpy ride through the streets on the iconic and kitschy jeep or bus. Hybrid vehicles will be one of the highlights of your visit. Plan stops to the main park in the city, the Rizal Park and the historical San Agustin Church that was built in 16th century. Buy local fruits and handmade gifts at the public market at Guayapo Church, where you are likely to see several thousand people show up on Fridays for the worship. Davao City. For a city scene outside of Manila, head to Davao City, which has a large metropolitan area. Davao City is the main city in the southern Philippines. Despite its small and large population, Davao City features many natural elements, including Eden Natural Park, Philippines Eagle Center, and the Davao Bay Walk near the sea. One of the must-visit spots in Davao City is Mount Apo, the highest mountain in the Philippines. Davao City is a prime location for shopping as there are several large malls. For a peek into Davao City history and culture, the tiny Davao Museum of History and Ethnography is worth a visit. Sagada. One of the most unique experience you can have in Philippines is in the northern tribal region in Sagada. Nestled in the rugged and the remote Cordillera Mountains are tribes that embrace the occasional visitors. This area is a paradise for advanced outdoor enthusiasts. The steep mountains and high elevation enhance the thrill and skill level required for outdoor adventure. One of the must-sees in this region are the hanging coffins that hide deep in the mountains. It is best to connect with a local guide to take you to this incredible site because this is not a tourist area but rather an authentic tribal region, hiding experience worthy of bragging rights. Hiking is popular in Sagada, particularly to Mountain Ampaco, which has the highest peak in the region. Coron Island, one of the top diving destinations in the world. Coron Island is tropical paradise with electric blue and green water that almost seems unreal. The mountainous island sits on the tip of the Palawan Island region, the westernmost section of the island in Philippines. The island is popular for diving because of numerous wrecks here. Many of the preserved shipwrecks are located in depth ranging from shallow water at just 3 meters to deep water at 42 meters. Some of the wrecks requires more than one dives. Check out Barracuda Lake, a former volcano with many unusual rock formation and fish. Baguio. Baguio is a city tucked away in a mountainous region on Luzon City. Though it is a city, Baguio is intimate and reminiscent of a cottage-type environment. Baguio is called the City of Pines for the rich pine forest and cooler temperature that surround it. Baguio is unique to other destinations because the city is surrounded by trees and not water. Parks like Mines View and Burnham let you enjoy some of the flora and fauna that are special to this region. Be sure to spend some time along Sessions Road, which is main drag through Baguio, where you can take in a slice of local life.